propose cutting the deficits by nearly $3 trillion. President Joe Biden will propose cutting the deficits by nearly $3 trillion over the next decade in his budget blueprint, the White House announced on Wednesday. The president's budget, which we will release tomorrow, will cut the deficit by nearly $3 trillion over the next 10 years. That's nearly a $6 trillion difference between the president's budget and congressional Republicans' agenda, which would add $3 trillion to the debt, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre told reporters at Wednesday's briefing. Those cuts, Jean-Pierre said, will be paid for by tax reforms aimed at the wealthy and large corporations, as well as cuts to wasteful spending on special interests, like big oil and big pharma. She went after former President Donald Trump's fiscal policy, including what she described as a reckless and unpaid tax handout for the wealthy and large corporations, which added nearly $2 trillion to the deficit. The deficit reduction will be a central part of Biden's budget proposal and a symbolic marker as the president approaches the showdown with House Republicans over the looming debt ceiling crisis. The White House's new deficit-cutting figure is aimed squarely at the House GOP, who have said they will not agree to raise the debt ceiling later this year unless the White House negotiates spending cuts. The White House has said the two should proceed on separate tracks and that raising the debt ceiling is non-negotiable. Administration officials have argued that a combination of the proposals backed by some GOP lawmakers would add more than $2.7 trillion to the national debt. Biden had said as recently as last week that his budget proposal would cut the deficits by $2 trillion, a figure he first announced last month during his State of the Union address. The plan I'm going to show you is going to cut the deficit by another $2 trillion. And it won't cut a single bit of Medicare or Social Security. In fact, we're going to extend the Medicare Trust Fund at least 2 decades, Biden said. He continued, I will not raise taxes on anyone making under $400,000. But we'll pay for it the way we talked about tonight, by making sure that the wealthy and big corporations pay their fair share. In the days to come, when the government starts to release its budget, more information on Biden's plan is anticipated. The budget is unlikely to become law because presidential budgets rarely pass through Congress unamended, but it is still a significant milestone for Biden's political future because it will influence how he positions himself politically in the debate over the debt ceiling and when he announces his re-election bid later this spring. Biden has put up a number of revenue-raising ideas that could aid him in achieving his deficit reduction objectives, such as a new tax on households with an annual income of more than $100 million and a 4-fold increase in the tax on stock buybacks. He has also suggested ways to cut costs, like giving Medicare more negotiating power over the cost of some prescription medications. That's today's latest news. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment so that this channel can continue to exist. Thank you for listening to the end and I hope it's useful.